Hi guys, welcome to the Beauty Antidote. My name is Annie and today's video is going to be about the struggles of trying to eat healthy when your spouse or significant other is super picky or in my case, doesn't have any desire or need to eat healthy, which can cause issues with, how do you make two different meals? It's frustrating because they don't have to make the same sacrifices that you do to get to your goal. And you can end up feeling really defeated and things like that. So this will go over that and show what I do when making lunches for me and my husband. Now, just a little bit of background. My husband and I, we work different shifts. So I work during the day and he works overnights. We're very independent from each other, just regularly. We have our own spaces in the house. It sounds really strange, but we do. And it's just how we function. Now, some would say that it makes it easier because we're not eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, but I think that the same principles apply and can work for people that even, do share all their meals together. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to put yourself first. You have a goal you want to achieve. You want to feel better. You want to lose weight. You have a goal, and your goal might be for health reasons. It could be for anything. And putting yourself first to achieve that type of goal, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. And you need to accept that it's okay. And your spouse or significant other needs to accept that, you're doing this for you and they need to support it. Whether they get on that train with you or not, they can at least support you and understand what you're doing. The second thing that you need to know is everyone is different. What works for me might not work for you. What works for my husband obviously doesn't work for me. And even though we do, there's no need to feel defeated because we're all different. We all do things in different ways, and it's just finding what works for you. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want to share what I do on a daily basis. Maybe you'll find your own rendition of it to help you with what you're trying to do. So, and then lastly, you need to do what makes you feel beautiful, what makes you feel good. And that's what this channel is about. The Beauty Antidote is about finding things that make you feel beautiful in your daily life, to make you feel better, to whether that's physically, mentally, socially, anything. It's what makes you feel beautiful being you and living your life. So that is what the channel's about, and that's what I'm trying to do here, to try and help you find ways to balance me and my husband eat different things, and I have a goal and he does not have to, doesn't want to, whatever the case may be, doesn't want to be on that train with me. And I think it does come down a little bit to, they at least have to support it. And even if they don't, you can still do it, but that's something that you would have to figure out. Luckily, my husband does support me in what I'm doing. So, I don't really have much advice if they're against it. Now, in my mind, for what we were doing, I had two options. I could let my husband fend for himself and just be like, screw you, I'm gonna make whatever I want and you can figure out your own meals. Or I could find a way to, without spending substantially more money or being super stressed out about making two meals, finding a way to make that work. So the only reason I'm able to make this video is because I've made mistakes and made errors and things didn't work for me. So Jace, my husband, fending for himself, not an option. I let him do it for a little bit, and it meant McDonald's every day. I'm not joking. Every day. On his way to work or on lunch, he stopped and got McDonald's. In about a 2 to 3 month span, I forget the actual, like, how many weeks or whatever, we spent $270 on McDonald's. That's just ridiculous. It's on top of groceries and on top of, like, other meals that we eat. Like, it's just not acceptable. And we're trying to save money, which is another video that I do have coming up later. But it just wasn't working. So this video is specifically focused on lunches. So I'm huge on meal prep, and you know, I'll spend so much time a certain day prepping it all so that I don't have to do it every day. Now, my husband's meals I do have to at least put together every day because he has sandwiches, but like besides that, I don't really have to do anything after what I show you here. So without any further blabbing from me, let's get into what I make for myself and my husband for our lunches. All right. For this week, I decided to make vegetable barley soup. I'll have the recipe linked in the description box below. I did add a few of my own things. All right, we're gonna turn it to medium-high heat and add some olive oil. Then we're going to first add in our onions. Add some celery. This is not in the recipe, I just like to add it. Some garlic powder because for some reason I did not have any fresh garlic. Stir it up and wait for the onions and the celery to cook and get a little translucent. The onions and celery are looking good, so we're going to now add in the carrots. Alright, so now we're going to add in the diced tomatoes, 2 cans. These cans were actually on sale this week for 69 cents. I did like this recipe because it had canned vegetables, which just makes the whole process a little bit easier and faster. Adding in 1 cup of barley, then 6 cups of vegetable broth. I had to use 1 full carton of vegetable broth, and then out of my other carton, I did measure out 2 cups. If there is a low sodium option for almost anything, I will choose that. I just find that having less salt in my diet than I need to just helps with headaches and bloating and things like that. Now I'm adding in the oregano and realizing I should have opened it up more to make this portion go a little bit faster. Adding in the basil and opening it this time to make it look a little less painful. So this next item the recipe does not call for red pepper flakes. I just prefer my soups to have a little bit of a kick with them. So I did add in a healthy helping of red pepper flakes. And then lastly, black pepper, a lot of it. Okay, we're gonna stir that up, and then I'm gonna let it simmer or bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer for about 20 minutes covered. Okay, about 20 minutes have gone by. We're gonna stir this up, or I'm going to stir this up and add in the rest of our ingredients. Alright, so I'm gonna add in 1 cup of corn. 1 cup of green beans. I just only had 2 half cups. These are also the canned vegetables that you saw earlier. And then we're going to add in the potatoes. Alright, we're going to stir all of this up. Make sure it is all really mixed well together. Then cover it and let it simmer for another about 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that the potatoes cook and the green beans and corn get warm. Alright, while that continues to cook, I'm gonna make my husband's lunch. He's having ham and cheese sandwiches and some other snacks. I'm not really sure that you need a voiceover for this portion. It's pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes I will use just regular bread, but white bread specifically for him. But we were out, so I just have the burger buns and the cheese and the ham, and then we just all put it together into his lunchbox. I do want to say I really like these reusable produce bags that I got off of Amazon. I do keep my produce in them, but the one that is this size, I think I have 3 of them that came in the pack, I am using for my husband's sandwiches, and I really like them. You can also put them in the washing machine and wash them. I forgot to put out a very important part, and that is the Chips Ahoy Chunky Cookies. You cannot have lunch without cookies. Even myself, I will have a cookie at the end of lunch. So, but he gets 4. Alright, and that is it for my husband's lunch. Now back to getting mine ready. Oh, hi Taka. That is my kitten in the back, sneaking on up onto the counter. So what I do is I have these glass Tupperware with lids, and I have four. So I portion it out into the four different containers, and then I'll put them in the fridge. And every day I'll grab one. Now these are big, so sometimes I will only eat about half, and if I do eat a whole one, I usually eat it, when I'm having a late lunch, and then maybe I won't have as big of a dinner and just have a snack. All right, so that is the vegetable barley soup. It's a little heartier than I thought it was going to be, but it's still really good. All right, so that is it. So as you saw, I usually choose a meal that I can get many meals out of for myself, and then I cook it like, Sunday night, sometimes Monday, and then I portion it out, and then I just quickly put together his meals, and it works out. Now, I did want to say, um, for money purposes. Now, I'm not good at math. This is just like completely rough numbers, okay? Like, you can't hold me to, but it will give you some perspective. Jason and I, when we get McDonald's together, we spend about $20 for both of us. I added up everything for the soup that I made, and all the ingredients, like not portioned out to how much I needed for it. All the ingredients cost me $14. All of my husband's ingredients together, including like the Cokes and things, was $28. Now, portioning that out to be about 5 to 6 meals out for all of those ingredients. Mine comes out to about $3 per meal, and his comes out to about $6 per meal. So still, even though it's two separate meals, it's still less than if we went out to McDonald's. Now, sorry, there was a little fuzzy. If he went to McDonald's, his meal is about $10. So he's still saving by eating those meals at home, because it's $10 versus about $6 per meal. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something. I do want to say that when me and my husband do eat meals together, like say dinner or whatever, if we want to have pizza, I'll just plan and make it my cheat meal for that day or that week or whatever. And I plan that I'm going to eat that. Or if I'm cooking a full meal, like, I don't know, I'm gonna make some ribs or steak or whatever, then I'll just have different sides than he does. So I'll make the ribs or the steak the same and we'll eat it the same. But he wants like mashed potatoes and corn and bread and all of that. And I'll usually just have like a side salad, or I'll have the corn, but I'll have green beans instead. So you can have the same meals, you just choose different sides, especially if you're eating where meat is the main focus of the meal. It's a lot easier, but I think that it's just making those changes and having a support system as well. So as always, Beauty is a lifestyle on the inside and out. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below on what meals you like to make with your spouse, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.